It's day 13, 365 days printing on vintage hardware, and you're going to say, but wait, it's not that old. Look, man, it's got wood in the hot end. What more do you want? This is a Taz 4 with a Bootish nozzle, which 1 through 4 had. And one of the interesting things about Bootish nozzle, it has the peak isolator like a lot of hot ends of its time, but it uses a giant resistor as a heater. The Taz 5 moved on to the hexagon hot end with this tiny little 20 by 8 millimeter blower, which is only really good for ABS. I've had terrible luck, so this printer out of the box is better with PLA, which is what we're printing with today. And unlike usual, I actually have a completed print here for you. This is the first print I did today, and this is the first time I've ever used this Taz 4. I know it doesn't look like much, but it's a fairly good print for this printer. I don't think it's that loud. I mean, it's, you know, it's noisy. It doesn't have silent drivers. The main thing that's noisy about it for me is when the power supply fan kicks on. If you haven't seen a Taz before, check out those connectors. This one came in as a dual, which is why I have the second Bootish nozzle on me. I converted it to a single extruder because that's easier to deal with. I'm not up too much on the history of Lulzbot. They started out with a pair of Prusa Mindels, and then they built some more that used silicone molds for the parts to kind of get production up. And then they built a bunch of custom Prusa Mindels, the 1.0 and 2.0 as they called them. And then they built the Taz, and the Taz 1 didn't have a screen. Future me here, I kind of made a mistake there. I skipped over the AO. I think they had the AO 100, AO 101. I don't have one. If anybody actually has one that they want to get rid of, let me know. Taz 2 adds the screen. Once you get to 4, one of the big changes is they changed to these lead screws. Power supplies went up each time in wattage. This is actually a Taz 5 bed. It's just in better condition. I've got a chip in the glass of my Taz 4 bed. Taz 5 bed had a couple of changes, which is the PEI and then these metal clips, I believe, which were required for the dual upgrade. So the big difference between the 4 and the 5 is what hot end you have mounted to it. So if you change the hot end out, I believe you can run 5 firmware on this. The main thing is you have to duty cycle this. I think they duty cycle this at like 74%. Because if you try to run this at 100%, it will blow the resistor. I sliced this in Cura Lulzbot edition, I think 21.08. And there we have another finished print.